voted pro-life, and this is exactly why I'm in favor of the Stem to Cell initiative. I believe in saving human lives. I want cures to be found. According to the Chronicle of Education, published August 24, 2010, this quote was stated by John Danforth, who is a United States Senator and also a Protestant priest. Us as Minnesotans should be well informed about what our state is investing their time and money in. And in fact, according to Bioethics Forum, published August 3, 2009, the University of Minnesota was actually the first interdisciplinary university to get involved in stem cell research. So it is important for us to be informed on what stem cell research is and also take our own stance on it. I believe that the National Institute of Health should remove the Dickey-Wicker Amendment in order to allow federal funding for embryonic stem cell research. First, we will be looking at the problem. Next, we will look at some causes of the problem. And lastly, we will look at a possible solution to this problem. First of all, the problem is that embryonic stem cells are not being used to their full potential. According to the Chronicle of Education, published August 24, 2010, many research labs are making little to no progress in stem cell research, so cures to many diseases are not being found. In order for you guys to understand what embryonic stem cell research is specifically, I will define it. According to Medical News Today, copyright in 2012, embryonic stem cells are cells that are derived from a 4-day-old human embryo, and these cells that are derived have the potential to derive into any type of human living tissue, so they would be very useful in science today. Also, there are so many institutes and research labs around the world that are affected by this. According to Bioethics Forum, mentioned earlier, there are over 50 institutes around the United States alone, and some of the most well-known institutes that are researching stem cells include Harvard Medical School, the University of Minnesota, and also the University of Madison, Wisconsin. Also, according to Bioethics Forum, there are over 150 research labs around the world, so there are so many places being affected by the slow development in stem cell research. Also, there are many harms that they are not doing more stem cell research because we are not finding cures to many diseases such as cancers or birth defects and anything like that. Stem cells can also be used to replace human tissue. So if you need like an organ transplant or anything like that, stem cells could be a huge help. Also, according to the potential uses of stem cells by the Australian government, published January 3, 2012, embryonic stem cells would also be able to be used for drug testing. So instead of animal testing, we could use actual human cells, and it will give us a better grasp on how the drugs will affect us humans. Now that we have looked at the problem, we will look at some causes of this problem. According to Medical News Today, copyright in 2012, there's no federal funding for embryonic stem cells, and also there's a lot of controversy. According to the New York Stem Cell Foundation, copyright in 2012, the Dickey-Wicker Amendment prohibits any federal funds to be used in research in which a human embryo is either created or destroyed. So that means that no federal funding can be used in embryonic stem cells. And this has scared away a lot of universities and research centers because they don't have the money or they have to get privately financed money. And according to the Chronicle of Education mentioned earlier, because of the bad economy right now, research money is even harder to find, so stem cell research is even worse. There's also a lot of controversy. According to Medical News Today, mentioned earlier, there's an ongoing debate about when life begins, and many people believe that deriving stem cells from embryos is actually killing human life. And also, the New York Stem Cell Foundation states that it is linked to abortion politics. So now that we have looked at some of the causes of the problem, we will look at one possible solution. I believe the National Institute of Health should remove the Dickey-Wicker Amendment to allow federal funding for embryonic stem cell research. Once this amendment is removed, we will easily be able to pass a law because there are so many people who are pro stem cell research. In fact, President Obama has already tried to allow federal funding. This will also be really easy because there are already so many research labs and people who will do the research, and once they get the money, research will expand immensely. Also, there are so many benefits because even if we do not get the potential of saving as many lives as we can from finding cures to diseases, we will still be advancing our scientific knowledge, which can only benefit us. So along with benefits of just being more knowledgeable, we could potentially cure millions of lives. Now that we've looked at what the problem is, the causes of the problem, and also a solution to the problem, The restrictions on embryonic stem cell research need to be removed now. So the National Institute of Health should remove the Dickey-Wicker Amendment to allow funding for embryonic stem cells. I hope that you guys all vote pro-life, vote for human lives to be saved, and vote for cures to be found.